Namaskara. Welcome to the overview of the celestial events of this week. Let us begin with the constellations visible at dusk. The easiest way to begin is to look for the brightest star in the sky, that is Sirius. Its local name is Lubdhaka. The name of the constellation is Canis Major. This is a dog with a hunter according to mythology. Where is the hunter? The hunter is just next to it. The bright and beautiful constellation of Orion is the hunter. To the south of Sirius is another bright star called Canopus or Agastya. Now observe the southern horizon. It looks like a cloud because a large number of stars are densely packed there. This is part of the Milky Way. Now let us turn to the east. This blue star here is called Spica or Chitra. Here is a small group called Corvus or Hasta. Slightly to the north of the group is the red star Swati or Arcturus. Now let us turn to the north. The 7 bright stars of the constellation Ursa Major helps us to identify the faint pole star Dhruva Nakshatra. Now let us see west. Here is the constellation Taurus, and you can clearly spot the bright star cluster Pleiades or Kritika. Here is the red dot, which is planet Mars. We see only 5 planets with naked eye. The other planets are visible at dawn, especially Jupiter and Saturn. So now let us see the constellations of the dawn sky. We had identified Chitra and Swati in the eastern sky in the evening. Now you notice that they have moved to the west. We also had seen that Ursa Major was visible in the north. Now we are still able to identify it, but we notice that it is about to set. It has moved. But notice that the pole star Dhruva is in the same position. Let us turn to the south to see the beautiful constellations of Scorpius and Sagittarius. The cloudy patch there catches your attention, and that is the Milky Way. Almost at zenith, you have a bright triangle formed by Vega, Deneb, and Altair. Now let us turn to the eastern sky. You can easily spot the planets Saturn and Jupiter. This week, Moon will pass next to them. This view of the 5th dawn shows Moon, Saturn and Jupiter at about 4 am. Note that Moon is about 90 degrees from the horizon. On the 6th, you will notice that the Moon has moved closer to Saturn. On 7th dawn, you will notice that Moon would have moved closer to Jupiter. Note that day by day, the altitude of the Moon is decreasing. On the 8th, Moon will rise later, so you will see it only by about 5 am. When it rises still later on the 9th, it may be difficult to locate it because of the bright twilight. On the 9th evening, you have an opportunity to see the International Space Station. Evening by about 7:44 pm, it appears as a dot in the north. You can see that it moves gradually towards the zenith, passing by Auriga, Gemini and Leo. In order to understand the movement of the Moon, let us use this new gadget here called the Sun-Moon Clock. The Earth is at the center. The position of the Sun corresponds to its place on the zodiac. it, the sun completes 360 degrees in 365 days and therefore moves by about 1 degree per day. We can fix the position of the moon based on the angle we saw in the night sky. On fifth dawn, we had noticed that the angle between the moon and the sun is about 90 degrees. You can see the same 90 degrees here too. It decreased on the 6th, further decreased on the 7th. The movement of the sun is quite small to be recognizable here. The angle between the sun and the moon decreased still. By 9th, we had noticed that it was very close to the twilight. It was almost lost. Thus, you can guess that in the coming days, it will be still closer to the sun. What happens beyond that? We will learn it looking at the sky again.